All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're in a new spot again. Last time I was over there and I noticed that you saw a lot of my head, or at least the top of my hat. So this time around, I wanted to change locations a little bit, shake it up a little, and move to a different spot. Now, I hope that you all can see what I'm going to be doing here. We're not going to be doing this for too long, I hope. But, you know, every good story needs a task, I would say. So we are going to do some stuff that I've been meaning to do for a while. But before we get there, um, I have to talk about whether or not we succeeded last time in our last video. Um, kind of left you hanging there, whether we got it working or not. And so I don't know. I don't know what bearing the lead is exactly or whatnot, or doing whatever. But long story, a little bit shorter. We did get it working, and at the end of the video, I would have almost gotten it done right, except for I had the wrong finger position. My fingers were in the wrong place. I had the wrong key combination when I was trying to restart the computer. So when I went and checked, I think it was ChatGPT or Apple's website or ChatGPT to get to Apple's website, whatever, right? You know, it's all the same now. They're all, yeah. Anyway, so once I did that, everything turned on and it worked just fine. So what I want to show y'all is the hard drives that I actually used for these. So remember, these are like 2012 Mac Minis that were the Intel i5s. So like they're literally just dinosaurs, you know, stomping around, still somehow alive. But anyway, solid products. So what we did is we got these crucial drives. I am thinking you can see these. I don't know, but I'm just assuming here. But so we got these, and these actually work great for the Mac Minis. They pick up the OMM. I think that's the right. I don't know. There's so many acronyms now that I went through that I don't remember what's what anymore. But originally, I bought this Samsung Evo 870 from Amazon. So I have an Amazon store and I'm an affiliate. You can buy all of this stuff that you see here on my store. You can help me out, you know, with the channel and just in general. And plus, if you're looking for stuff that actually works, this stuff actually works. And I went through everything and already broke it, and figured out what works and what doesn't. So I bought this originally to do the job that these actually had to do. Um, because I thought that this would do the job, but this is too new. And then this actually fires the correct way. So the hard drive is only a 240 gigabyte, so it's really small. But what these things are doing over there, those Mac Minis, is they are nodes on my AI network, right? What it really means is they are so stupid that they can only do one task, and they're so old that they basically are good enough to keep something going at all times. So I turn them into that. They are basically 24-hour. Um, one's like a cleaner, essentially. I have a database, and it goes through and makes sure that it's all clean and updates it and makes what do you call them, backups, and cleans them out. It's called a vacuum, I guess. Kind of funny. And then the other one is a watchdog. Basically, it goes and checks that everything else is working right on the rest of the system, and that's all they're doing. One does one thing, one does another thing, and that's it. And they're just 24 hours doing that all the time. Very important tasks, mind you. But when it comes to AI and everything, the more boring the task, the dumber your AI has to be to continue to do it. It's kind of interesting if you ask me. You know, it says a lot. I don't know if it says a lot about AI or it says a lot about us, but um, I have the same problems with my other AI projects. They don't like to listen to me. I have like great systems in place. Huh? Weird. And they're like, nah, bro, I want to do my own thing. Like, cool, cool, cool. So what's the point of building the systems if they're only going to go and do their own thing? It's like, I never had kids, but now I feel like I have kids, like, because they just don't listen. So anyway, um, so that's what happened. So we ended up with this thing. After I put these in, I had this now, and so it was like, well, what am I going to do with this? And I ended up getting this external hard drive enclosure. Well, I guess internal hard drive enclosure made for external. So we took this and we put it inside, right? I mean, anyway. Again, all of this stuff available on my Amazon links. Probably have it down below, but if I don't, just it's Ralph's Joint 20. Um, Amazon.com, I think. Ralph's Joint 20. So it's all the same now. Everything's Ralph's Joint. Big surprise. Woo, reveal. Hi. We moving everything to Ralph's Joint. There was a thing that I did when I was back in high school. I was really excited about. I thought it would be really cool, man, if like I could create a place that was like called Ralph's Joint, bro. Well, here it is. Like 30 years later, and not at all what I was imagining when I was 16, 15 years old, having a interesting idea at the time. So anyway, over at Ralph's Joint on Amazon, you can Ralph's Joint 20. You can find all of this stuff, and I can tell you that it does all work. It works together really well. These work for old computers. These work, and what I turn these into actually is the backup drive for my Mac Mini M4, which I got to actually run my whole system that I'm building. So that's like an open claw Mac Mini, basically. That's the reason I got it, because I was doing it on my PC, and then it just started interrupting everything, and it just turned into a freaking nightmare. And well, it just started breaking stuff. I mean, it's like the story of my life. Like I do something and I break it, and then I have to do something else to fix it, and then I do something else and I break it again, and then I try to fix it, and then I have to get something else, and then, well, and at the end of the day, though, it all worked out, which is the important part. And during all of this, which I do suggest, if you are going to be doing any of this stuff, if you're going to be trying to like fix your old hard drives or fix your old computers or update anything, definitely get yourself one of these. This is just it's basically a dock for hard drives. You get this. This one's 2 bay, so you can put 2 hard drives in it. Hook this up with a USB to any computer, Mac or PC, probably Linux too. I'm assuming. Like, oh, and mind you, those dumb computers over there, they're running Linux nodes. So they're on Apple machines running Linux, and they're also in coordination with the PC over there. So like we have all three systems working together to produce some really cool stuff. We'll get into that way later because we're not even there yet. We're still figuring out hard drives here, um, or at least like what to do with them all. Like because there's so much data and everything, and like there's serious problems when you start to get into lots of hard drives, and we're going to go over that today because that's kind of the theory. That is not the word. It's a theme, not theory is like some shit you made up and you haven't figured out yet. I got a great theory. Anyway, definitely get one of those again on my Amazon store. So, and then kind of we're gonna like we're going backwards in time, but we're going to be moving forward in time because the whole reason that you're seeing all of this crap here is because once upon a time, I decided I wanted to upgrade my main PC. Now, this is way, way before I came up with this idea to make all this crazy hacker crap come to life and do all of this. Um, all I really wanted was I wanted to have my editing suite, my Adobe editing suite, installed onto my computer, and I also wanted some games installed. Now I know that that seems like a very legitimately simple task, but you would be surprised at how much pollution I have made over the last 7 or 8 years, however long I've had that PC. And because of that, I had to get something new. So what I hold in my hand is a Samsung 2 terabyte 990 Pro with heatsink. Ooh, God, I need to. Woo, yay! Um, and this thing, well, it's just like I have a 500 gigabyte hard drive in there. That's like one of these chips, and like I didn't build my computer, so I didn't know how. I don't even know what I'm doing, right? I'm just doing it because I got to do it. And like, I don't want to sit in the situation that I'm in. So I'm doing stuff that I'm totally uncomfortable with. I'm totally just going headfirst into. And you know what? I've broken more things. eh, Well, I mean, I've broken them, but then I went and learned and asked a lot of questions and then fixed it and then spent, I guess, 3 weeks trying to get that all working together. Because once I got it working, um, it was great. But here's the funny part. So I needed to clone this. Well, I needed to clone what's on my hard drive onto this. So I thought, like, all right, another thing in the pile. I'm gonna get this thing, and this one I actually can show you right here because this is actually kind of cool. This is a little case for that chip, right? So the idea was that I'm gonna put this in here. This is really cool. It's actually got like a little rubber case on it. Again, on my Amazon. Um, so you push the back of it, boom, pops out. It opens up. You slide the hard drive, chip, whatever the thing in there, and put it back in. Plug it in, ready to go. Except for, remember when I said with heatsink, like, like that part right here, like right there. That is the part that totally screwed it up. This is made to be without a heat sink. So you can get these. The heat sink is basically the thing that helps cool it off because these chips get like super, super crazy hot. So the hole um, is not made for the sheath heat sink. So when I tried to put it in, it didn't fit. So I had to get another thing. And this is a SSD dock, an M.2 SSD dock. So this is an M.2, or M.2, M.2 SSD, right? And then this is a dock. So remember this dock that I showed you earlier? Well, this dock is like this dock, which then uses these things. So now I have all these docks for all these different hard drives because I ended up buying the wrong cases, the wrong hard drives, and essentially broke a bunch of stuff along the way too. Um, and we'll get to what I've broken here in just a minute. But I just kind of wanted to get through that pile of stuff real quick first because that is just what I wanted to explain and why it took me 3 weeks to get back to y'all because we were working on a bunch of stuff and definitely took a bunch of side roads. Now, you might be asking, why didn't I film any of this? Well, you got me there. I don't really have a good excuse except for this was so annoying that I really didn't want to get this frustrated in front of y'all. But at the same time, I had a lot of other stuff family wise that was going on. And I don't know how you all deal with stressful situations, but I'm the kind that, like, I deal with the stress head on. I go and do what needs to be done, and then to deal with it further or process it, I guess, I bury myself in work. And it's probably not the best of all scenarios. This is why I'm trying to do more videos, get back out there, even though I'm not really out there. I'm out there. You guys are out there? Hmm, interesting. Anyway, I'm broadcasting out there. Y'all are out there. I'm trying to get things done and still broadcast and still have some of this going on. So here we are. Oh, and with that little thing, you get some really cool cables and everything. So anyway, this will be used now for the hard drive that's actually coming out of the computer. The heat sinks do come off, so I could actually put that thing in here and I could use it, but I mean, I'm going to be putting it back on, and then I got that other one already. So, and this tool is really cool. The little dock that I got instead, it really makes the process a lot easier. You just pop it in; it just feeds right on top. I might be able to show it. The process already finished over there on my PC, but I haven't ejected the drive or anything like that because I'm just going to go and do that. And that'll probably be the next video that we do here, because this one is about hard drives. You guys remember these things, or do you guys have any of these things? I have a lot of these things. I have too many of these things. To the point where, I mean, I have a lot of terabytes worth of data. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this hard drive apart, and we're going to be taking this hard drive apart, and then we're going to be putting it into this right here. This thing is really, really cool. It is a little hard drive bay, right? So when you pop this open, you get a little slider like so, and I'll show you how it all works because we're gonna do this here on camera. And then you pop that in there, slides in. There's a chip in the back, a big old circuit board where all of the hard drives slide into nicely, and it has a nice, clear, easy USB 3 plug. They come in eSATA too, if you're into that. My whole workstation in my world is not eSATA. eSATA is faster, I think, if I remember that right. And apparently better because USB 3 has so many different kinds of functionalities, blah, 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 speed, super nerd, blah, 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 blah. So what I want to show you first is two of these things that I've already kind of taken apart. I did that earlier because, well, forgot how to do it, and I wanted to break it off camera just in case I really, really broke something. But I didn't break anything really, and then I figured out how to do it, so I can kind of show you guys how to do it. And then we'll talk about what the problems are and most likely what I broke while doing this and what you should avoid doing, so that you don't break it when you're doing it if you do it. So really, the thing I want to kind of start with is this, like, how each of these hard drives is essentially all of this stuff, right? And then you got the hard drive too, obviously, so it's inside. So you got all of this for one hard drive, right? So you have the USB cable, the power, this little connector that is the USB connector, which we're going to get into why this is the whole problem. And then power and everything, right? And then you have a nice little case. It's really, really convenient. It's great. I've had like 20 of these things, and every single one I have pulled apart, and and did what I'm about to do to today to this last one here. Well, I have a couple more, but I just don't have any more space in these, so I have to get another one of these. If you can see that, you might not be able to see that. So all of this means that one USB spot is being taken, and another power strip is being taken, and all of that, right? And now, if you're okay with losing a little bit of speed, these are my media drives, so they're not really all that important on what's inside of them. But at the same time, they are. everything's important. I don't want to lose anything. That's the whole point of all this, right? So what the problem is with these Western Digital drives is this little piece right here. And this is basically where the USB plugs into the back and the power. On drives, it's right back there. In those two spots, you can kind of see the holes there. That's probably too quick, but point is, if you pick up any of your hard drives or take a look at them, they all have something like this. And this is the part that fails. And basically like fries, and then a lot of hard drives become inaccessible because of this thing right here. That being said, this thing right here also has one of these. Matter of fact, it has one of these that has 4 of these little things that hook up to the back of your hard drive. That little section right there, right? So technically, these have the ability to fail just as much as these do, except these have 4 hard drives in it, and then these are all 1. There's a combination here too with the Western Digital. There's a certain type of like program that they have on it, so it partitions your drive. It makes it so there's like a safety and a backup, but it makes it so that if this thing breaks and then that safety and backup is there, then your stuff is basically inaccessible. So that is the problem with these hard drives. And if you don't know that, you don't know that, and you never will know that, because you just probably plugged it in and started saving stuff on it and never formatted your drive before doing that, which is the important part there. And it's a full format, not just a quick format, because that partition likes to stick around. I don't know why they do that. I'm sure that for regular users it might work pretty well, but for me, I've lost more hard drives to this stupid little thing than I rather talk about. And if you've ever lost a lot of data in your life before, you know how absolutely destructive and horrible that is. So today, we are going to take this hard drive apart, and this one is particularly important to me because it has my comic books on it. These have been collected for years, and there is another copy which I've already put in there. But that being said, that one was banged around a little bit because of, well, I had to figure out how to do all this. So it just so happened I accidentally used that one. So we'll see if anything survives any of this. And here's the weird part. I haven't mentioned this. This thing not being there may prevent these drives from actually working and being picked up. So I have to keep all of these, and I've already done this before with one. Screw it back on, plug it back in, and then actually use these cables to then pull all the data off the drive, format it, put it into this thing, and then get it working again. Unreal. But that's why I'm keeping all that stuff over to the side, because we may have to get back to it. All right, so these Western Digital drives are kind of it's the weirdest thing in the world. I'm going to break it for sure, which is, kind of my thing. But you don't have to. You can totally do this safely, and you can do this in a way where you don't break all the clips. So you can slide it back together again. Now, I don't know why you would do that. I don't know why you would take this thing out. I mean, I guess if you wanted to fix it and then put it back in here to make it work again. But like at that point, I would just spend. They have these for 2 hard drives, or I think maybe even one. Like for 2 hard drives, it's like $50 or like maybe $60. I'll put it on my. I don't have it yet, or maybe I do. I don't know. But so what we're gonna do? All right, let me start here real quick. So butter knife spreader schmear thingy. It's just a nice flat metal thing. I haven't cut myself yet with it, but you may see some blood. And then this is the bottom of the hard drive, and at the top of the hard drive, there's actually like, a whole little process to this, and they do just kind of slide out of there. Let's see if this one will do the thing and I can make it actually come out. No, they're all stuck back together again. Wow, these things are actually pretty amazing. So anyway, oh wait. I might got it. I might have it. I might have it. Hold on. She says hold on. She says hold on. All right, cool. We got it. All right. Oh, we're gonna need that. Okay. So anyway, there you go. So this thing slides out, or is a thing, and then this holds the hard drive inside it. It sits inside like this, and there's some screws on the side if you've ever played with hard drives, and then it comes down and sits like so. And then the backing, plug your cables in there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically, there's some clips here, and then here at the bottom too. And in order to get it to slide, I'm going to break all the clips at the top here to loosen these so it just slides out. There's 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Easiest way to do it, slide the sucker in there and then just twist and pop them until you hear them snap. If you want to save them, same process, except you get these little plastic tabs and you need a lot of them. I had to cut up like, I don't know, some sort of packaging from a tool, like, you know, that crazy plastic like that they use for, I don't know, for packaging for stuff that you don't want to, that they don't want you to steal. Anyway, that plastic is perfect, and I'll show you how we use these a little bit later. But if you want, you need a lot of those because I'm only going to use like 4 to pop the bottom of this. But if you need 5, and then you need 4 more, right? So you need a total of 9. You might as well have 10 just because sometimes you need to slide them in on these sides. Anyway, so that goes back in, and we will get back to that later. Oh, hey, kitty. What's going on? Might have to take a minute. Maybe not. We'll see. What's up? You hungry? Yeah, she hungry. Well, all right. So I'm going to get to going on this fast, or else I'm going to get, like, you know, yelled at here. So here we go. So we're just basically popping this thing in between, and you'll see it goes in. Not totally easy, and I don't recommend like going too crazy with this at first because you just kind of don't want to break it. But that's it. You might have heard them break there, maybe not, but they just snap. And oh, looks like we got them on that side. Going back in now on this side. Just like kind of just kind of wedge it in, then just turn. You know, like, I don't know, like, because we're not going to be saving these, just so we're clear, right? So when we break these clips, it's totally all right. Okay, that's the 2, that's the 3. It looks like we got those. Yeah, I can hear them all rattling around in there. And then this is actually kind of the same, but now we're actually going to take these plastic clips. So we're going to wedge these in right between, just like that again. And then we put these little plastic clips into essentially these 4 spots, like here at the end, so that these things can fit. Now, like I said, some of this might be, I might be breaking more than I need to, but you know what? Whatever. Or not enough. Because these are not always easy to get in here. It's really weird. Like, you get it in, and then you can't get it in. That doesn't sound right either. Sorry about all the innuendo here today, but maybe that's why you're here. All right, did I get it? I don't think I got it. Get it over there. So you guys been watching any good TV lately? What have you guys been watching? Tell me in the comments down below. What's your favorite show? I was told I should watch Mr. Robot, so I didn't. But I'm really excited to, because I hear it's a lot to do with this kind of stuff. Well, a little bit more than that, I would say. But you know what? Let's just say that it is. But instead, I got into something I meant to watch, like, when I was forever old, or I mean, younger, like forever old now. But like, so in the 90s, we had this awesome show that's going to be rebooted here in a little bit. Um, and then they actually did a couple new seasons of it. But anyway, I was watching the X-Files. See, this is a pain in the ass. The side, like, getting these clips in there just right. Oh, I think I might have gotten that one a little bit easier. And I'll show you how these things all look when I'm all done here. It's really weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know who designed these things. Like, they're like, oh, this is practical. Weirdest things, like how some of this stuff is designed. And then they're like, yeah, this is like specialty tools, or what the hell? Who comes up with this crap? All right, I think we're good. Or we may be good. I don't know. All right, so you have 4 tabs kind of in there like that on the bottom of the hard drive, which is really stupid. And then we broke all the tabs up top. So now you go in here, and then there's like a separation. So we're going to just basically push the hard drive up through these clips, and it should just pop out, just like that. So there's those 4 little pieces of plastic. Here's the hard drive. Like I said, ooh, it's a big one, 12 terabyte. It's a big one. Like I said, it's my comic books, man. I'm for real with that. So there's that. I'm gonna set that down, get back to it. And then here's all the clips, all these little clips that broke, exactly 5, just like I said, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Now that you can still use that, it just won't clip at the very top. But the bottom will still clip, as I have found out. So now we have to get specialty screws and screwdrivers. So this thing that we are doing is we need a T10 star screw driver to undo the screws here. So if you I'm pretty sure I have a kit on there, if on my Amazon. If I don't, I will put it on up there. The one I have right here was given to me. They have ones that are a little bit more have a little bit more tools in them nowadays, so you can get it. So on one side there's a plastic bar. Obviously you can't come through this way, so all you got to do is just, after the screws are unscrewed, just pull a little bit away, because there's rubber stoppers on each side there, and just loosen it, and then push from the area right up top here. Just pull it apart nice and gently. Comes right out. And we have our hard drive. Okay, and then now you can see this little piece here is still on there. There's a screw right there. We're going to take that sucker off. And that's just a regular Phillips. Small Phillips, but it's a Phillips. You can use almost any little regular Phillips screwdriver for this one. All right. And we slide that off like backwards. Just slides right off, like so. I'm going to keep that over there with the rest of them, because like I said before, you never know with these suckers. So, all right, now we're going to open up one of these little caddies. So these are actually pretty cool. They're very, very simple. And before you do it, make sure that you take the little plastic off of here, because they have it, a nice little plastic covering for the shiny metal that you will never ever see again after you pull this plastic off. But I personally would just take it all off, because I don't know what kind of heat we're going to be talking about in there, and I don't like burning plastic or smelly anything really, and especially not my technology. I don't like to smell burning technology. If you've ever smelled it, it's terrible. It really, really reeks. It's got a smell all of its own. Very unique too. All right, oh, got a little hanger on there. All right, cool. All right, so it makes it nice and shiny. All right, so what we have is a bunch of little tabs here on the sides. These kind of like just pull apart, and the hard drive just kind of sits in there. The back of it, these where the connections are, go to the back of it. So we're going kind of like this. You can slide it in, and if these don't quite work right away, you just pull the tabs out a little bit. I mean, they're literally locked, so they're not supposed to slide, but sometimes they do. And then pull these apart. And then on the bottom, there is little tabs that have to line up with the screw holes that are here. So you have to just kind of just adjust it a little bit here and there. And then same thing with these blue tabs. Make sure that these get pushed in on each side. This will lock your hard drive into the cradle. All right. There, we're all locked in. Cool. So now I'll just pull this back over here and then nice and gently, and we're in. So that is one of those hard drives, and that's really about it. So, you know, doing this kind of stuff is really just kind of the base of what I started to do, because I wanted to upgrade my computer, and I wanted to upgrade all of those computers actually. But I can't upgrade any of that. It's old, it's done, it's from a time past, and that's kind of one of those things as you get older, right? Like we like to hang on to older stuff. Well, almost, I guess not all of it. Some of it we try to get rid of and forget about, right? But when you start to get a little bit more nostalgic, I suppose, you start to look for those souvenirs of good old times. In my case, it's a lot of computers. I spent a lot of time computing. Um, so with that, I wanted to get all that back up, and with that, there's a whole meta, you know, thing to it as well. I wanted to preserve my old stuff, and I had a lot of digital stuff too. Everything that I do is based on everything that was once, and new vocab these days, based is actually a pretty dope ass thing because it's based. I don't know what the hell it means, but my meaning is that it's based on dope ass shit. So it's based. Anyway, you can take your meaning. It's one of them terms that they're using. Another one is cringe. I really like the cringe one though. The shit is cringe. I just don't know if I should be saying that. But whatever. Anyway, my question kind of goes out to you guys though. What are you interested in looking and seeing? Because I'm going to be finishing these hard drive builds here in just a little bit. The next one I'm going to do here is this guy, which is a whole different kind of hard drive. And I still actually have to look up how this one comes apart because I don't remember. But it's very similar. It's a book. It slides out this way. There's a bunch of clips in it. Maybe some screws. I don't really see any screws. But I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to put it all in here. And then in the next video, what you're going to be seeing is me essentially getting my computer, my PC, back to operations. The point of it is that we are creating an entire AI architecture that, in this case, is all local and works off of my computers to do basically to run a business. Day by day, I'm building little pieces of it out. So when it started with it started on my PC where I totally botched it up and put something on that should have never gone on there. So when they say don't put it on your main computer, they're not wrong. Now, there is other parts to it too, where I moved it over to a Mac, and then I broke the system. That took a week to fix. Then I updated it once, and then added some plugins. That took a week to fix, and about $2,000. Um, the Mac itself is about $700. The hard drive, so like we're looking at about 4 grand into it already. On top of the Open AI and Anthropic bills. And if you know anything about any of this and you're interested in it, then I suggest you look at Open Router as well. But they kind of route all of the AI and everything like that, so that if you are doing any of this, or if you have agents or anything, it can kind of be a little more cost effective depending on what subscriptions you have and stuff like that. I mean, it gets into the weeds deep and super digital, technical, crazy, nerdy. Um, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And we already have a whole bunch of parts of this. So the entire Amazon store was essentially created by my AI system because I wanted to get that done. I have a book on Amazon as well. You should check it out. It's Whatever You Do, Don't Do What I Did. It's really quick. It's about that thick. Um, if you get the ebook, it's about 90 minutes, I think, maybe 2 hours. And it's literally like every business book I've ever read, condensed into just you know I don't know, like enough information to remember. It's like the top 10% of what all of these books flagellate about, you know and a lot of them rely on just overstimulating, right? So my whole thing is I'm not going to overstimulate you with info. I'm going to actually give you stuff that works and that gets your mind right, so you can get out there and keep grinding when you need to. And then now I'm working on the system that actually supports that. So um, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be rolling out products and rolling out other parts of it. The marketing is coming together, and all of this other stuff is coming together. I'm going to be finishing hard drives still for right now, and I still have Easter on the table, and my hacker setup over there is still coming together. So we still have some weeks before and some months before we're actually operational. So the system right now is in alpha testing. Um, it's just alpha testing all of my stuff. I have about 4 or 5 entities spanning all kinds of time. Some that are 10 years old, some that are 20 years old, some that are just getting started. Um, and it's doing all the books, all of the conversions, all of the back end business stuff that I wish I could have been able to do quickly when I was in the bar business, or I wish I knew when I started other businesses. Um, and yeah, it's actually it's a really strong production software too. This goes along on top of something I have that's called MarketQuire. That is like a funnel building system that will do your emails, your funnels, and you can build websites out of it. I had the Roost website built out of it for 4 years, I think. Um, and it's a fantastic software. And we're now just building on, not onto it, but we're like evolving, I don't know, growing into more um, services. So if you're interested, go ahead and click on any of the links, and check any of it out. A lot of it is still under development because we I am working out all of the bugs, um, because the system pretty much went live about a week ago. And so between errors and getting the data in there, and just the amount of data, and then sifting through it and figuring out what's junk, connecting email accounts and iCloud accounts and Gmail accounts, and all the APIs, all the credentials, the bank accounts, the financials. It's a little bit of a process for sure. Um, but the cool part is that it's becoming a more streamlined process every day. And by the time it's going to be ready for the market, it's going to be something to really, excuse me, something to really sink your teeth into, because it'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff. Um, until then, I am here in my super nerd lab, um, working at it, and unfortunately, I can't even like sit at my computer right now because I have what I have in entitled "gamer's arm." Right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably just a pinched nerve. But anyway, it's from sitting in doing important work. So I don't know why I would name it gamer's arm. Oh boy, I think I just oh. Anyway, Guild Wars 2 Super Adventure Box. What can I say? It killed me. If you were there, you know. If you don't know, I'm not gonna explain it. If you ever want to know, jump into Guild Wars 2 and do like meet me there one day. If you're already there, I don't know my number. That's so bad. Like anyway, I'll post it somewhere in one of the next videos. But this thing's going super crazy long, so I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching. We will see you on the next one. We will get the PC up, and then that is actually going to be a agent again when I finish what I'm doing, because I want a second one in case that one goes down. So now we're working on number two. And then I think by that point in time, I'll be able to kind of explain and show everybody what's going on with it, because that computer will be working and I'll have my editing software and I can do multi-camera and I can do edits, and I won't have to do long 45-minute videos talking about everything else in the world. Unless you like that, because that's the whole idea here. So this show is about me breaking stuff and getting things working again, because if you don't break stuff, if you don't fail, then you don't know how to, you know, crawl out of the mud and get yourself back up there. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm putting together a podcast, and it's going to be called Whatever You Do. And it's going to be tied with my book. And the idea is going to be, we're going to get people that have gone through situations in life, either business or life or, whatever, where they did something that most other people probably shouldn't do, and what they may have learned from it. Um, I'd like to see what kind of stories we can gather from this kind of thing. Some of it will be live here. Some of it will be through Zoom calls and onlines and Googles and whatever FaceTimes we can muster. And yeah, I would like to talk to some successful people and see what was terrible. I'd like to talk to some people that do some crazy things and see what their terrible ideas were. I want to talk to some people that did some terrible things and see what their best ideas were. I don't know where that conversation will go, but hey, you know what? I would love to have it. So this is Ralph signing off for today. Thank you for watching. Let's go break some stuff. See you next time.